Why settle for plain static updates when your apps could show bookings and stats in a fun way? I'm working on a booking app and I kept thinking, every time a booking comes in, it just updates. The numbers change, but it just feels so flat. I wanted something that feels alive. So here's what I had in mind. A counter that rolls smoothly from one booking to the next, and as each new number appears, a guest image pops in alongside it. It's subtle, it's dynamic, and it makes the updates feel a lot more engaging. In this video, let's build that animation step by step. And in the next video, we'll take it even further by adding state machines. Let's start by setting up a mat for our numbers layer. The idea is to show only one number at a time as it rolls up or down. To do that, let's create a new shape layer. This will act as our mat. We'll center it nicely so it covers just one number perfectly, and rename it to mat so it's easy to keep track of. Now let's apply this mat to the number layer. You should now see only the active number while the others above and below stay hidden. That gives us that neat rolling effect inside a confined space. Right now though, the transition looks a bit sharp. Let's soften it up a little. We'll temporarily remove the mat and select the layer. Then apply a linear gradient going from bottom to top. Let's reduce the opacity a bit and extend the bounds slightly so the edges fade more naturally. Once that looks right, we can reapply the mat. And now the roll feels much smoother. Next, let's animate the number roll itself. Each number change will happen over about 1 second. That's roughly 30 frames. At frame 0, we'll keep the number at 0. Then at frame 30, we'll move the number layer upward so the next number aligns perfectly in the center of the mask. Let's add keyframes for that movement. Now let's smooth it out with some easing. If the transition feels too fast or slow, feel free to move the keyframes around until it feels more natural. We can also experiment with the spring curve to try out effects like bounce or overshoot. But for now, let's stick with easing. You can even edit the easing curve manually to give the motion more personality. Once we're happy with this transition, let's duplicate the same keyframe pattern for the rest of the numbers. Each second will match the next number. 1, 2, 3, and so on, all the way up to 10. We'll fast forward through this part since it's just repeating the same process. Now that our number roll is ready, let's bring in the guest images. Each image will fade and slide in as the count increases. Let's start with the first one. We'll set its opacity to 0 at the start, and as the counter hits 1, we'll animate it upward slightly while fading it in to full opacity. A bit of easing here helps it pop in more smoothly. As we move from one number to the next, we'll repeat the same idea. The new image fades in while the previous one shifts slightly to the left. To do that, let's create a null object, or even just an empty shape layer, and call it Pax Mover. We'll parent all the guest images to it, so instead of moving each one individually, we can just shift this single layer to move them all together. Now when the counter goes from 1 to 2, we'll nudge the Pax Mover a bit to the left so the new image aligns with the center. We'll repeat this for each new number that appears. By the end, we'll have a clean, continuous animation where the numbers and images move perfectly in sync. If anything feels too slow or too fast, we can always adjust the keyframes or tweak the easing curve until it feels right. And that's it! Our rolling booking counter is ready. In the next video, let's make it interactive using state machines. So instead of just playing on its own, it responds to user actions in real time. So stay tuned because that's where the magic really happens. And if you want to learn more about how to create animations in Lottie Creator, do check out the Creator series. Links in description.